Hi, Aries Sun and Rising. Welcome to your February 2024 Astro Update. It's Rena here. So, I feel like this is like an incredible month for you in terms of social contacts because a lot of energy is in Aquarius. And that includes Pluto going into Aquarius. So I want to get this out of the way that I'm recording this in the middle of January. And an event that's coming up that some of you are also going to be experiencing in the future because you're going to be listening before this date of January 20th is when the Sun enters Aquarius on the same day that Pluto enters Aquarius. And I get that song from here in my mind, the dawning of the age of Aquarius, but really, this is so true in February because other planets start to really go into this 11th house, which is a very social house. Now, normally we think social, we think of like just hanging out with friends and things of that nature, and certainly it can be that. But I think that when it comes to career matters, because you had Pluto go back into your 10th house of career when it was in Capricorn, that this can also involve networking. For some reason, this may be your superpower. And speaking of power and talking about Pluto, this is something that's going to be an ongoing story for the next 2 decades, so get used to it. When Pluto is in your 11th house, you can even be somebody who is very influential among a group of people. And certainly Aries individuals, may have that desire to be kind of the top dog and maybe the center of where everything is the focal point in a certain sense, because you have the very strong ambitions. So when we're trying to achieve goals, other people are important to that. And so, if you have your own business, networking is also something that may be very advantageous for you. But the 11th house is also the house of gains. And with Pluto, it can be wealth. So that could be something that you have in your future, is that this, whatever it is that you're doing may generate a large income. I think of the 10 of Pentacles in astrology and in the tarot. And this is a house of hopes and wishes. So you may be obsessed with a certain goal, and that means that you're more likely to achieve it because you're really putting a lot of attention on it. On the 5th of the month, Mercury goes into Aquarius, so Mercury goes into that 11th house, and Mercury is very much about communication. So you may be reaching out to friends, the holiday season is over with, getting back into the swing of things, and maybe there are some people that you're trying to kind of touch base with or what have you. And the 11th house can be the groups that you belong to. And so there may be something that you want to join, some organization, and you're communicating with whoever runs it or something along those lines. On the 9th, the new moon at 20 degrees of Aquarius is here. So, yeah, that's another thing too. Pluto in the 11th house can totally transform the type of people that you deal with. And there are other factors that could, impact what this could be specifically. For instance, you have Neptune in Pisces, and that might be and you also have Chiron in Aries. Maybe you have spiritual groups that you want to go to. Some Aries people may be, I'm tired of this kind of life that is so trivial. I want to have a more spiritual connection with others, and so that you're dealing with certain types of people like that. Because you are the template of the universal chart, all of the houses correspond with what the houses are in astrology. And so there's also this very, I would say, if that Uranian energy of something that's a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit eccentric, a little bit bohemian, in other words, nonconformist and like a hippie type of mentality. But that might influence you in terms of your humanitarian efforts, but also in terms of how you choose to live your life in general. It might even be for some of you that you want to live more communally, that's how you transform yourself, is living with a bunch of people. Aries people tend to be extroverts, so being around other people is something that most of you will probably would embrace anyway. So this new moon can bring new people into your life. It can bring new goals that you have for the future. I mean, long range goals, not just really, short ones, but things like that. On the 13th, Mars goes here. And on the 16th, Venus goes here. Now, Mars and the 13th can kind of create conflicts. Maybe you're clashing with friends. Because of Pluto being here very long term, it may be hard to see the changes that will occur because they may be super gradual. But you may find that you start drifting away from, if you've had like a core group of friends for many years, you may find that you don't have as much in common with them, and you start to kind of drift away from them and towards other people. And this could be the beginning stages of that, where you're just kind of, Mars has not been here for probably a couple of years because it was in Gemini at this time last year. So you may find that you're not just kind of getting along with friends at this time as much as you normally do. It could simply be that you're just more active, because Mars can increase activity, that you're active with your friends. And on the 16th, Venus is here, so maybe that smooths over anything that is a bit problematic. And Venus in the 11th can be gains from work. So this could be some kind of, additional money that you're making. Maybe you get a raise. I mean, it could be something along those lines. It could be, Mars here could be like falling in lust with somebody, and Venus can be that you feel a sense of romantic attraction. This would be through your group of friends. Maybe you meet somebody through your friends or while you're socializing, and you feel that sense of like attraction to them. On the 18th, the sun goes into Pisces. So now the sun is going into hibernation, that 12th house, before you start a whole new cycle when the sun goes into your sign at the astrological new year, which this year will be on March 19th. So the sun goes into the 12th. You might start to feel your vitality. You might feel a little bit more tired and wanting to be alone more and rest more. The 23rd, Mercury goes here, so that is very good for for meditation or for creative projects where an imagination is involved, where you are exercising your imagination. And on the 24th, there's a full moon at 5 degrees of Virgo. And that's a really cool date. I keep saying this because it's 2/24, so 2/24, and then 2024. So it's a sequence of numbers. Of course, there's a zero with the year, but still, the zero is kind of open-ended, right? So this is falling in your sixth house of work and health. So these kinds of things can be quite, prominent for you, where you're really becoming aware of something along these lines. Maybe you're becoming aware of a health issue, or you are feeling the urge to purify yourself. Maybe you are leaving a job. I do feel sometimes that this could be a promotion because the full moon is abundance, and it's also kind of the apex, the heightened state. And because Venus went into your 11th house, and that could be the earnings, I feel like that could be, the reason why you're getting those extra earnings, because you're getting some kind of promotion in terms of the work that you do, a boost or something like that. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated for you, Aries. And if you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my deep dive readings, which is a package deal. It's an hour of natal chart analysis with an hour of 2024 transits. Now I'm going into a little bit of 2025 because now we're in January. And that's for a special price. I do have those readings as standalone readings. I also have love readings, tarot readings, career readings. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at RainaMoonAstrology.com. Thank you for listening.